Hey, Nathan.
Hello, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can hear and see you now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Just the two of us so far?
So far, Mr. Bill just texted me and said he's gonna be late.
Huh.
But I haven't heard back from anyone else. Did you
Strange
get
how that-
did you get the text I sent?
I did. I did.
Oh, Tyree just said a link. Okay, Tyree.
Well, on that link that Jillian sent out, it adds it to your calendar, and then you have to go in there and click on it there. So it was kind of a pain. It took
Sorry.
me 3 attempts to get in.
I think because it
Now
was
that
set
I
up
know
as
I'm
a
good,
reoccurring meeting.
Yep.
What's
Jeff
up?
with his smug look there.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
Josh?
What's up, Jeff Pullen's picture?
He's still trying to figure out how to turn it off, I'm sure.
Such a smarty pants.
Now he's got another perplexed look on his face there.
Hi, man.
There he is.
Hi, Lo. You're
Feel
so
better?
cool.
Feel better now, Jeff?
I feel a lot better now. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Good.
Can't wait to see you in Israel.
No kidding. What
Hey,
the heck?
You guys are going soon, eh?
Next Friday
Dang.
is when I'm leaving.
I'm leaving Saturday.
That is going to be awesome.
For real.
I have to admit, I'm slightly jealous.
Yeah, no kidding. And then you got Mr. Selby going to be there with you too.
I'm rooming with Selby.
Are you really? That's kind of scary.
My roommate's better. My wife.
I would hope you'd say something like that.
I can't compete with that.
Thank
Selby
goodness.
definitely can't compete with that.
You might try, but
Well, Selby was on the the webinar at 11. So where's he at now?
I don't know.
I noticed that virtually no one else added the thing to their calendar. It like says, but it's so convenient. It like kept reminding me, and it's like right there.
That's how I got on. Actually, I went to my calendar and I clicked the link.
Yeah, pretty nice.
See, I had to add it to my calendar to click the link. So And John Burdett is also having trouble getting on.
Yeah, that's what he just texted.
Wait, how are they? It's like every other one we do, isn't it?
No, this one you couldn't just click directly on the link in the email. You had to go through adding it to your calendar.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
See if that'll help since you guys figured that one out.
No, we're clearly the cream of the crop right here.
I mean,
Yeah.
wouldn't expect anything less than that. Hey, Paul, do you like how you got some shout outs, you know, when they were battling between Eddie Van Halen and
Look what I brought just for the occasion. Actually, I didn't plan this at all. It just happens to be here.
You got my vote.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to do a mandolin recording, and then I'm going to go running, and I thought, well, I have to be on this call first.
So you might as well practice your mandolin while
Yeah,
you're on.
well, it's just ready to go for whenever I'm done here.
Good. Hey, Tyree. Oh, you're muted. Okay, no, you're not muted. I just can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Just getting out of work.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Well, if you can see the. There you go.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm a big fat slacker, and I've got an issue. I cannot find the spreadsheet anywhere that says who the CTs are that I'm supposed to be in contact with.
I think Jillian sent you guys all the contact information.
I kept looking for emails from you. That's my problem. I should have been looking from Jillian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything important is going to come from Jillian. You can pretty much guarantee that.
In the whole world?
I mean, at least for my world.
So we just delete your emails?
I mean, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe glance at the titles. Then you go on with them. We were listening yesterday to one of the speakers from the Global Leadership Summit. She was doing a webinar, and one of the things she said is like, yeah, like this guy called or texted in and had a question like, I got like 2,000 emails. Should I just like delete them all? She was like, well, I don't know your world, but I mean, if you don't think it'll get you in trouble, go for it.
Wow. Nathan, good to see you, man.
Absolutely, you too.
So who are we missing? We're missing Selby and Andy and Aaron, right?
I was gonna say Ball Duke I haven't seen, but
And I wasn't sure if Gustavo was going to be on it or not. Brian Baldwin.
Yeah, Brian.
Tyree, get that little thing swinging above your head, just looking sweet.
Smells good.
Doesn't even smell anymore.
Good.
Just it annoys. It is now being removed.
Don't crash, Tyree.
I feel insecure.
Called out.
Put it around your ear.
It's my good luck. A good luck charm. Right beside my cross.
Oh, that's funny. Hey, Mr. Edward, do you want to pray for us and we'll jump into some discussion?
I would love to pray for us.
Thanks.
Father God, thank you so much for another opportunity to just come before you as men just seeking guidance, God. Use your spirit in our lives to speak words of truth to each other. Help us to have ears ready to listen to what you have to say. Be with Jason and keep him organized as we get through this today. Just help us, God, to leave here energized and prepared for the task at hand. God, thank you for your son, Jesus, and the freedom that he gives us. Help us to live in that freedom today, to experience you in new ways. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
and
Thanks. Andy says another meeting happening. I'll tell you.
And yet he's on.
There he is. Okay.
Selby.
Oh, hey, Chris, you jumped on
What's
too.
up, man?
And
What's
there's
up, man?
Andy.
There we go. Yeah, no, it said another meeting was happening. It was weird. So I tried it again. It worked.
Good.
Better late than never. No, it's
Yeah.
Yeah. Selby, you're always in a car, man.
Let's go. I'm
Oh,
always
you-
going, Alan.
Selby, are you living in a car or what?
down by the river.
Staying by the river.
You're in a car too.
Motivational
What's this all
speaker.
about?
Hey, do you know God created you to be with him? That's what I'm doing.
These meetings are dangerous.
I'm sitting still, bro. Most of the time.
You have never sat still in your life.
Amen.
Came out swinging. All right. Cool. Well, I'm glad you guys are on it. So I think we're just missing Aaron and Brian and Gustavo. But I don't know if Gustavo has the ability to get on yet. So at least with the other two, we can definitely harass them a little bit. So, okay. Yeah. I mean, maybe he didn't get the group message or something. I don't know. Okay. So I know Jillian sent out, I think like a week and a half ago, sent you guys all the contact information. Have you guys had the opportunity to reach out and connect with those guys yet, or not yet?
I sent a text out to my 3 guys. I've talked to Brian Reisner, who was supposed to talk to you, Jason, about with him changing over to Romania here in the next 6 to 9 months, kind of what that's going to look like for him.
Yeah.
The other 2 haven't reached yet, so
Okay.
I'm going to harass them again here in the next couple of days.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I've talked to all my guys. We're good to go.
Okay, cool. And do you guys have like a meeting time set up, Chris?
Yeah, next week.
Look at you leading by example. I like it.
Come on, Smith.
I emailed my guys, and I've heard back from 2 of them, and 2 of them
Okay.
I have not. So.
Okay. Well, hopefully they'll get on it quick.
Jason, did you resend a updated spreadsheet?
Updated. Are you referring to the contact information? It would come from Jillian. Check for an email from Jillian. It'll have the contact information for the people in your group. So Andy, for you, it should be Andrew Held, Ray, and then Justin.
Yep.
And then obviously, like if you want to add Kirby to that group since he's in process, you're welcome to do that. And for any of you guys that have someone who's like in process of becoming a certified trainer and they just haven't officially onboarded yet, but if they're going to be onboarded before the retreat, then feel free to add them to your group so that they can jump in on the conversation right now. So they're not missing out on stuff. So definitely make sure that you guys grab that contact information. If you're still looking for it, you can't find it, let me know. Or actually, just let Jillian know. She'll resend it. If you let me know, I'll just.
I don't see it, so I'm gonna send her a mail message.
Yeah.
She sent it on 9/18.
9/18.
Yep.
Send it to you, Andy, if you want me to.
Yeah, please do.
I've got it open right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys could try and get those meetings set up soon, that'd be good. So kind of my thought as far as like the cadence for these meetings, obviously last week we had like the larger group CT call, and then this week I have the master trainer call. Obviously you guys can do your call with your group whenever you want to, but I figured this would give us an opportunity if there's anything from the CT call that, we wanted to debrief about a little bit or talk through what is this going to look like, in our regions, whatever. It would give us an opportunity to dialogue about that. And then give you guys, 3 weeks to connect with your team before the next larger call. So does that sound good?
Yes, and that was the objective is for us to meet for an hour with our guys once a month.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to meet for an hour. 30 minutes, I would say, I'd be shocked if a group of pastors met for less than an hour.
Hey, Jason, I just got a hold of Kirby here. He wants to know where to send the money in.
Oh, yeah. Is he all ready to go?
Yeah.
Chris Selby,
One of us.
11527.
Oh, they all want a piece of the pie now. I see what's going on.
Josh Edwards.
Kirby, it's $1,000.
Sunlife.com/Tony.
He can call in and I'll
Call it in.
Yeah, either myself or Jack can get him lined up with that. But just make sure that you send me all of his references and then your recommendation for him to be in the program. I just need that in writing.
Oh, you want me to give you a reference? The reference is like my take on it, or do you want it?
Well, for his when he sent in his application, he put 2 references down: a pastoral and a friend or spouse reference. So I'm assuming that he contacted those references. So just any notes you have on those either conversations or maybe you sent out the form.
Gotcha.
If you sent out the form and they've sent that in, either one's fine.
Yep.
But then I just need like in writing from you saying, hey, Kirby's a great guy. He's gonna make a great part of the CT team. Something, however you want to word that's fine. Just that way we have it all in writing.
Yep.
That way, if he bombs, it's all on you, McGowan.
That's pretty much covering our butt, you know.
Yeah, I tell you.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just part of the process, you know. I mean, obviously, up until this past year, I've been the one doing that. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, I've done it before. I just don't remember what I think I sent you basically a write up of my whole process with the. So I didn't know if there was.
And that's totally fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. But if you have any paperwork that you collected from them, just forward that to me as well.
Cool. All right.
Hey, Jason, when are the guys getting the books? So we can start with that.
Getting
the leadership development book.
Dedication and leadership. They should probably have that already.
Okay.
And then so like this.
So
as soon as they're onboarded, we sent them the gospel eyes and the field guides, as well as their business cards. And then I think Jillian sent out dedication and leadership like a week ago. So the goal is to go through that book in the month of October.
Right.
Fairly short
so
book.
For the guy, so my question was, the guys who is in the onboarding process, do you want me to have them go ahead and buy it?
Yeah, that's my question.
That is a good question.
Like Dan?
Yeah, no, send Jillian an email with the names and addresses of the guys that are in the onboarding process. And say, hey, they're going to be jumping in here in the next week or 2 weeks or whatever, and I want to get them started on this book. And then I'll let her know to go ahead and order those books. Yeah, so obviously that goes for all of you guys. So Andy, for Kirby.
Thanks.
Bill, if you're able to rope Eric in, for him as well. Anyone who you guys feel like they're likely going to join in the next couple weeks, definitely get them.
Yeah, Kirby, I'm working with getting transportation to the retreat. So
good.
I mean, if the ball's rolling down that way, so just yeah.
Okay.
So for Charles, or actually he goes by Buddy, I found out today.
Okay.
Is he going to be in my group, or is it just because I'm onboarding him, or does that mean he'll be somewhere else? Because
where does he live?
He lives in Arkansas.
He lives in Arkansas.
The land of Selby.
I don't know about the land of Selby. Well, Chris has already got 5 guys in his group.
A license plate that says that.
I like 5
We're
guys
in Arkansas.
The land of Selby.
We're in Arkansas.
Oh, gee whiz, what did he's southwest, and I can't remember what the name of the town is. He's about 3 hours from Jonesboro. That's where he went with Quill for live. I can't remember the name of the town.
That's not close to me then.
No, he's south. You're north, right? He's a true like hillbilly, like me.
Blue pig suey, baby.
So, well, John, have you gotten a hold of Ryan Cook? Do you know if he's going to continue in the program?
So I didn't email him individually. I just sent out the email to all the guys, and he or the other fellow, I don't have it in front of me.
Stephen Howard.
One of those guys replied.
Okay.
Stephen, yeah, I didn't hear back from them, so I need to reach out to them again.
I guess especially since we're getting started. I think once you guys actually have your first call and you're able to, and you're able to actually establish kind of some expectations with the guys, like, hey, I'm going to be sending out group emails. That's going to be our primary communication. Please make sure you see it and respond right away.
Right.
Like, feel free to give them instruction. Like, they're looking to you guys for what they're supposed to do or not do. So definitely feel free to give instruction. But you might want to shoot him a text or a call right away. But I think especially with Ryan, I don't know. I haven't heard from him whether he's for sure in for this next year or not. So,
right.
Do you want to take on Buddy? Since you're kind of working with him now?
That's fine.
Okay.
That's totally fine. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
I mean, with Ryan, actually all those guys, I emailed them, and it kind of did beg a response. It wasn't just like, hey, I'll be talking to you soon. No, it was like, hey, when you guys want to talk. And it's crickets for some of them. So
yeah. No, I hear that. Well, and obviously, as I mentioned earlier, you guys have some kind of the option of having some admin help from. Be looking to Jillian for that, at least for right now. I think that's probably where that's going to land. But so feel free to, utilize her to help get stuff set up if you need to do doodle polls or whatever you want to do.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that, I mean, that's often, well, hey, let her know, hey, I need to get a meeting with this group. Help me figure it out. And she runs with it. So
Sounds good to me.
So, Jason, what's our numbers looking like this year for CTs, MTs together?
yeah. So total in the program right now, we have 38, and then we have 10 that are somewhere in the application process. And then depending on how many other guys are out there that I'm just not aware of, I could see us pretty easily hitting 55 before the retreat.
Okay. What were we at last year? It was like 30?
27.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's double. Cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're definitely going to double for sure.
Is that right around the target you wanted for this year?
Yeah. You what?
I was thinking we wanted to triple.
So what I've kind of projected is that by June of 2018, I want to see us have around 250. And I don't think that's, you guys are ridiculous. I'm only seeing like the first 4 words. They don't have the chat box next to you. There we go.
We just think you feel bad not being in like youth ministry, like currently. So like we just want you to feel like you're in it.
I think I need to get some like big balls or something like that, like Mr. Bill.
Right. Big balls right there.
We need grub worms. We need grub worms, Jason. We need grub worms.
That's junior high when you say big.
I don't know
I can't believe Deb sent Greg home to get different clothes on the other day. That's awesome.
What's up with that?
Who knows?
She's the boss. She's the
Who
boss.
knows?
I mean, Greg did rip his pants off at the first retreat years ago. I think Jason and I and Bill is probably the only ones that remember that one.
Oh my God. Yes, he did. Yeah, we're sitting at the table and all of a sudden he pulls the bottom half of his pants like out from under the table. You're like, what did you just do?
Yeah, he did.
No wonder the Sun Life guys left.
Yeah, Joel and Josh probably got hit with one of his
there
pants
you
or
go.
something. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, make sure you connect with Jillian if you guys need any help getting anything set up. Which kind of brings me to my next point that I want to, well, and so you guys, as I mentioned earlier, the dedication and leadership, we're going through that in October. But something that you might want to consider having Jillian help you out with. Andy, did you just answer the phone?
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yes, I realized it was a critical weekend bulletin thing I forgot to send in. So
Oops.
I knew what that was all about in the office as well.
That's funny. Okay, so one of the things that we definitely have some like key pieces of information that we want gathered. Hopefully, you guys all know about that spreadsheet that's on the interwebs. That shared Excel document. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't even remember how to access it.
Oh yeah, I can resend you guys a link to it, but it's
Be great.
see if I can pull it up here. Use this one. There we go. This sheet right here.
That's the one that you just sent me, wasn't it, Jeff?
No, I sent you something different.
So here on the overview, we still have to update it with some of the new guys, but right here, the number of gospel advancing ministries being called to, it's like what's that number? So Mr. Bill still looking for yours. Stu obviously his context just changed. Luke's got 300. So this is obviously between now and 2025. So like this is one piece of information that's in here. Obviously like we're moving Reisner and Quill are no longer in Selby's group. Neither is Ryan. So your whole group here, Chris, is being shifted around. So if you guys could help us make sure that gets filled in, I'm going to be looking, instead of asking for each of the CTs to fill it out, because that's a lot. If you guys could just help us get that filled out. And if you want to have, if some of your guys are just not getting you those numbers and are not responding or whatever, feel free to have Jillian kind of work with you on that. And then this right here, if you remember this right here, like, what value, this is more for you guys and like to help you really keep track of where each of the guys are at, specifically like the values column, this 5 stages column, this obviously needs to get switched over to 2018. And then again, this is really for you. Are they interested or not? Percent of new conversion growth, certainly something, that's good for you guys to know as well as for them. But this is also super helpful for us to know kind of what the new conversion growth rate is at. Chris, would you mind just sharing how, cause if I'll pop over to Chris's, he's got almost all of his guys. So obviously you're doing something that is convincing them to, respond. What do you do? How do you get them on that?
Yeah. So, when I meet with them every 2 weeks, I ask, so first of all, I keep track of to celebrate, I want to know if there's any new conversion growth. And then other than that, once a month, I'll say, so what's your new conversion growth this month? And someone will go oh man, hold on, I got to add it up. So they'll add it up or whatever. So bad student. You are Poland. Anyway, so yeah, so I just ask them, and they know that this is the most important part of the game is measuring that and measuring other things. So I don't know if that answers the question, but I just keep my thumb on it, I guess.
Cool.
Keep my thumb on them.
Yeah, just keep it in front of them. And
yep,
so whatever, yeah, like that, just like that. Whatever it takes for you guys to, that in front of people, that'd be good. As I said, feel free to, utilize Jillian to help you with that. But I think with what Chris was just saying, it probably makes the most sense on your guys' calls. I know, Chris, you got a message thread with just your guys, and then they're often just posting, hey, 2 kids trusted Christ. So if people are constantly talking about it, it's going to make it a lot easier to add that up.
Jason, one thing I'm going to do, and I don't know if everybody else wants to do this, and I know sometimes it can be confusing to have so many Facebook Messenger things, but I'm going to put my CTs and the 2 or 3 that I'm over besides that in one Facebook Messenger so I can contact them easier because I know when they see my post.
Yeah.
So, hey, we're meeting here, we're meeting there. You know what I mean? Just to keep them accountable.
Yep. I think that's good.
Hey, you guys use the app called Band?
What?
It's been a good talk. There's an app called Band that would be really, really helpful to this. As I was listening to you talk, Chris, I was thinking, boy, that'd be really, really helpful. It's not Facebook Messenger, but it's you can just pull your band together, just your people together, and you can put all kinds of great stuff on there. You can tag conversations, so you can always find them really quickly. You can put polls on there. So you can send out to your guys, hey, you respond to this thing, and it's kind of nice because I'm personally a part of so many Facebook groups that stuff can get lost.
True.
Currently, I'm not a part of a ton of band stuff, but check it out. It could be a really great. It's free.
That's cool.
Really great app.
That's cool.
You can also use Slack. Same thing.
I know on Facebook Messenger now you can do polls too. I noticed.
Yeah. Yeah. So you use it works for you guys. All right. So one of the things that I need to have by November 13th, you guys could help me with this, is I need everybody's updated CT strategic plan. So, which means I need your guys' too. If it hasn't changed, just, resend it. So basically, the strategic plan, hopefully you guys know where to find that on the portal, but what's your bold vision for, between now and 2025 as a certified trainer, which that's a really great place to put that, the number of CT or the number of gospel advancing ministries by 2025. You're hot for Edwards or just you're hot Edwards? I don't even know how to react.
Both. I'm hot and hot for Edwards.
That's disturbing. Josh, it really is a good thing it's your wife rooming with you and not Chris in Israel.
I've had a room with Chris before.
Poland will snuggle with me and keep me warm.
There you go.
When in Israel.
When in Israel. Yeah, Jerusalem dream.
All we got to know is when Naked Nick comes back.
Yeah, we're putting him and Pugsley together, just saying.
I think we'll put Selby and Naked Nick in the same room.
No. Pugsley.
Pugsley, because then we'll have the two of them running around with no clothes on at the retreat.
It's gonna be the Pentecostal room.
It'll be.
Got to get the snake handling going. Then.
And we wonder why there are no women involved in this group anymore.
Too many grub worms.
So back to when do you want the end?
I just literally typed that, Mr. Bill, you and I, buddy.
Due date 11/13. So that's the same due date for anyone who is going to be joining the CT program. They need to be in by 11/13 so that we can make sure that they have a room at the retreat center. So yeah, if you guys could push all of your CTs as well as make sure you guys get them in yourself, send them to Jillian. That way, because I mean, it's gonna be super cool if all of you guys and everyone that you guys are overseeing all put kind of the number of gospel advancing ministries by 2025 that you guys are believing God for. I'm really excited to see, with 60 certified trainers, what's that number going to look like? I mean, it's gonna be pretty cool for sure. So, and then as you guys are thinking through it, kind of where my mind is going, like as far as how many, I know Chris, like you got 3,000 on there. I'm thinking like 2 generations deep, because past 2 generations, you're not really going to be able to track a whole lot. So which, does that make sense? So you got like the guys that you've recruited, the guys you're coaching, and then the guys that they've recruited and they're coaching. So that's 2 generations.
Oh, okay.
So Chris, like, so for instance, at this last retreat I was just at with Chris Pugsley, he's a YWAM guy, said that he's believing God for 2,500, which, in theory could make Chris's job really easy. But if you think about it from the standpoint of 2 generations, like it's not actually going to be 2,500 that count towards Chris's 3,000, because he's probably going to have a certain number of those that are his second generation, which would make them your 3rd generation. So that group wouldn't count towards yours. So hopefully that all makes sense. It should. I mean, it's not math. We all went to Bible school, so hopefully it's not.
I didn't
numbers.
Oh yeah, you're a landscaping guy. See, maybe you can explain it better. Good. And then the other thing too, hopefully you guys have all led by example and paid your CT fee. If not, please do that, and then hold the rest of your CTs accountable to make sure they get that in.
Who do we pay that to?
Jason Lowen.
So do we call Jillian?
Sunlife.com/donate. Scroll down to Josh.
So any one of those, or if you still want to be in the program, you can either call me and pay that, Jack, or Jillian should be able to.
Jack will try and make you pay the full 500, but I have had to remind him on the Facebook page. It said we only owe 250. So.
Yeah, it's a true statement. And if some of I've already talked with a couple of you guys. If there's some of you guys that are certified trainers that money's an issue, we can split the payment and do like 250 now, and then maybe 250 in January, February, and that's fine. I'm okay doing that. I wouldn't offer that as an option. But if there's someone that's like, man, I really want to do this, but I can't quite get that $500 now, like, then you can offer that. So, okay. So one more thing. I still got a couple more things. Lead the cause forecasting. We actually had one of the CTs, Josh Weatherspoon, who bought 9 registrations for DC like a week ago. So
Nice.
go. But so hopefully you guys all picked up on that, right? There's a limited number at the $415 slot. And so definitely make sure you remind the guys of that. My hope is that the guys in the CT program buy all those up. Not because I don't want them to be available to others, but because I'd rather that bless you guys first. But when I say lead the cause forecasting, what I'm looking for is, so for each of you guys, like for your kind of organization, like the people that are under you, both the guys you're coaching as well as the certified trainers and the guys they're coaching, how many people do you feel is pretty reasonable that are going to be coming to lead the cause? So Mr. Bill, how many people do you think you're going to bring to lead the cause? And then each of the guys that are under you, how many people do they think they're going to bring to lead the cause? And then all the people that you guys are collectively coaching. So if by the retreat, so it's like 8 weeks or whatever it is, if you guys could try and come with that number to the retreat, for how many of you guys think you're bringing, and the guys that you're coaching, the CTs you're overseeing, and the guys they're coaching. So just so we can try and have a reasonable kind of estimate from the CT program how many people we think we're going to be bringing. So that would be super helpful. And we scared Chris away, I guess. Eh?
He gone.
Got to stop teasing him.
Got pulled over.
Yeah, maybe.
Where did wait? We lost someone else too, didn't we?
No, just Chris. Okay, when we were chatting, like, I don't know, a month ago, about just kind of what these calls would look like. One of the things, I don't remember who it was, one of you guys brought up, the idea of trying to be a little bit more strategic with like the gospel advancing trainings, like in the 1 day trainings that we've done. And I don't remember who it was, but I really like the idea. I think it's great. So I was just curious from you guys, and when I say that gospel advancing training, is that new book that is basically the combination of the last 2 years of 1 day material. So I'm just curious from you guys, like, what would you guys like to try and do anything with that idea? I mean, what the idea that came to my mind is, after you guys had shared that, was, what if like each of your kind of regional groups, so like Andy, with the guys you're overseeing, and maybe it's the Chicagoland area, but if you guys were to pull together a gospel advancing training, and have you and the certified trainers and everyone you guys are collectively coaching, trying to find a date that works. So basically creating like a 1 day tour, but completely driven by the CT program. Because I think it's incredibly valuable material and a great way to get in front of people. But I don't know. I just was curious. Wanted to see if that idea had any merit that you guys feel like would be worth pursuing.
Yeah, I brought up. I think it's good. I like the best practices that I hear from other youth pastors, and then being able to share those ideas with other youth pastors. So at the very least, the benefit of going over that book and that information is at least hearing best practices and sharing them, at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that. I do like that 1 day tour, because obviously it'll set them up to be able to train their own people 1 day, and speak with some good knowledge, that they're actually capable and competent of teaching it.
Hey, Jason, this may not be for this year, but as far as like putting something to where you can get guys together, or guys that you don't have any that aren't even relational, but you can draw them in. Is there to share? Maybe in the future, would it be possible to have like a slim budget of $500 to $1,000 for up to, I don't know, how many MTs are we? 11 for each MT. Yep. Because I mean, if you think about it, how much did each 1 day cost in each city? It was a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think that because what did we charge for that? We charged like $50. Maybe it
was like 49.
40,
yeah.
$50.
Yeah.
And so I if I remember right, I think we needed to have like 50, 60 people, something like that, in order to like break even.
Yeah.
But that's obviously with honorariums and all of our travel.
That's like $3,000 to break even. Then basically.
Yeah, it was somewhere like $3,000 to $5,000 per event.
So if you did a fraction of that, let's say 500 or whatever, then you could pull in like, that'd be a budget for the MTs to be able to pull something off, and to be a fraction of what you did prior.
Well, and we kind of already have that built in. It just because remember I have some money set aside in the budget to pay CTs an honorarium to go and train in different regions.
Oh, gotcha.
Originally, remember from 2 years ago, it was like money set aside to send you somewhere to train, but now it's really just like an honorarium budget for you guys. Like if there's an opportunity for you guys to train, that would help to expand our areas.
Like Seattle, for instance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So there is money in the budget to do that. So I would just say, like, I'd be more than happy to, to fill POs out for you guys to be able to, to train. And,
well, I'm just thinking, like, even if we did a 1 day, like, and there's 3 of us involved, honorariums probably, we'd have to do it probably pro bono. to keep it cost effective. And
it just depends on how you guys want to set it up. I mean, do you want to set up, the event where it's like free for everyone, or you charge everyone $10? If you guys wanted to charge everyone just to cover the cost of, facility rental and lunch and the training manuals, and then the honorarium came out of Dare to Share's budget, like there's different ways to do it. I mean, I think anytime that you're able to charge people for an event and it break even, including all expenses, I think that's always good. But in some contexts, depending on where you're at, that may not be possible. Like you may only be able to do a free event. So I don't know that I necessarily want to set like a precedent of this always has to happen this way. But to your point, there is money in the budget to be able to do stuff like that. And that's part of what being a certified trainer is all about, right? I mean, is, helping to spread the message, and you're licensed to be able to train it. So.
Yep.
I love the idea. I don't know realistically when I'd be able to do one, but I love the idea. I mean, I think I was even thinking, I was talking to you about Ron in the city, doing one in the city, and even, doing it at his church, gearing it towards inner city churches, and again, training youth pastors and getting a bug, that kind of thing. But again, I don't know. I can't commit to that right now, but I like the idea.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I love the idea of doing that with Mr. Bill and trying to do something in central Colorado. I think that could be really cool. I am going to be doing one of those trainings. It was supposed to be last weekend, and that got canceled because their group couldn't make it. But we're going to be doing it right at the end of this month. And what I'm doing there for an honorarium is we're doing it at their church, and I'm just charging them $15 a book. So, it's not going to be a great paycheck for me, but it's, $8 or $10 per person that comes. I will take that as enough to pay my wife to take my kids out for lunch while I'm gone type deal. And that's about all that's going to look like for me. But, I think it'd be really cool if it's, a little more official. If Mr. Bill and I could do something like that, if we can get our networks to at least show up, or a few of the other people around us, I think that would be awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that especially those of you guys that are in proximity to, each other as master trainers, and definitely, with the other certified trainers, I think maybe that's something for you guys to talk about, on your call with them, is with your CTs, is saying, what if we were to do something like this? What would that look like? Do you guys have networks that you could bring? Like, and then if you guys get stuff locked in, let us know, because we can help to create, some marketing stuff, and even market it, in a wider region than just like, so if you guys had, like 3-4 of you guys within your kind of regional group as, a team of 4 certified trainers, and you guys are all working, I mean, between the 4 of you, you guys get 15, 20 people, and then Dare to Share markets it, we might bring in another 10 or 12 or something like that. Like, so we can help market stuff. So yeah, I mean, just let us know as you guys get stuff figured out. We can certainly help to push it on our end. Help you create graphics, whatever you guys want to do, we can help make it better.
I think a great hook could be kind of leading up to Lead the Cause, through the funds that are generated through it, offer like a $150 off of their registration, like for them as a youth pastor. So all these people come at the end, we'll do a drawing, and that'll be $150 off toward Lead the Cause.
Yeah.
And kind of take it out of whatever funds, come in through registration. It'll just be a good hook, and also definitely a good way to promote Lead the Cause.
Yeah, agreed. That could be great. Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be super cool if, between the 11 master trainers, if you guys each work, I mean, if we get 8, 9, 10 events around the country, that you guys are kind of leading and pushing, that, 10 events at 10 groups, man, that's 100 youth groups.
Who
That'd be
has
pretty cool.
who has the is the guy from Fairbanks, Alaska, CT?
Not yet. Working on it. Shane Hopkins.
Yeah, Shane. I think he has potential there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Hey,
So-
Jason, I'm wondering if, on one hand, it could be great if it was organic and we tried to figure it out and whatever, but I'm also wondering if there wouldn't be some wisdom to making that some sort of an expectation, and for Dare to Share to even, you already have the gospelized book, but it would be kind of nice. On one hand, it's nice when it's organic. On the other hand, boy, it sure is nice when the people in Alaska, the people in Seattle, the people in Kentucky, the people in Ohio are essentially getting the same training.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some centralization to it,
I'm
right?
sorry?
There's some centralization to what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn between this idea of, hey, let's all just kind of do our own thing, which I think could be good, and also more of, hey, you guys are master trainers. Like, one of the expectations is that you do put on a one day. If you want to gather together and, two of you do it together, that's great, but each of you should be involved in a one-day training. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because some of us are closer to each other to where if one misses one, they can actually hop into the other. I think there is some wisdom to centralization. I think obviously the nice thing about decentralization is that you can meet the needs of the particular area you're in. But yeah, I'm feeling that tension, Jeff. I think there should be a way that we also leverage what we're all doing together. Am I catching you right?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what I'm thinking. I don't think I can even put it all together. There's a tension there because there's a part of me that's like, oh, this is a great idea. I won't do that. You know what I mean? But if it was an actual expectation, I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how to do this. And so I'm just wondering if there's not a little bit of a benefit. And then I think there's a further tension too when I start pitching it to people and they're like, oh yeah, it's a great idea. We're not going to do that. But if it can continue to be no, this is a part of what we're doing. This is kind of an annual thing that we do. So let's figure out how we're going to do this annual thing.
Yeah. Well, and I think that if you guys were doing that in conjunction with, the 3 or 4 certified trainers that, are reporting to you, like you already have a team of 4 or 5 people that are for sure going to be there and bring their groups. Like if between the 4 of you, you can identify a date when you're going to do it, then it'd be easier to then say, okay, we're for sure got a team that's coming. Let's make this bigger than just our 4 and expand it out. So I don't know.
Jason, quick question. How many of the master trainers have trained a one day?
I think most of you guys have, right?
Yeah, I have.
I think we all did after that, except for Brian Baldwin because his got canceled right after the retreat.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason I ask is because, to me, the answer to your question, Jeff and Andy, is that, we've already done it. And so I think we just take that template, right? Like that we had, like the rundown of this is what the day looks like, adapt it to our own, kind of standard. But then, like you were saying, Jason, like using those CTs in our group to be the trainers or co-trainers, whatever it may be, like back and forth, say, if there's 4 of you, hey, okay, one of you is in charge of logistics. Like, hey, make sure we have an opening game, make sure we have these things, make sure that the day flows well, and that's your job, Then another person, hey, you're a trainer, hey, you're a trainer, and another person's kind of shepherd. I mean, to me, it seems like that's kind of already built in, or the one-day training already lends itself to having the structure for 20 people or 100 people, I think.
Let's take some of the best practices even from Dare to Share Live. And I think there is something to be said to where people can connect with Greg and connect with the overall movement. Could there be even a session, a 15-minute session where Greg is speaking on tape almost as live, just a teaching on just where Dare to Share came from? I think that's important too. That we could look into to where he could professionally shoot something that where we could have something in the box again, in the can. Because I think it's important that whatever we do, that it does at least have the level that we had at our one days when we were traveling around on the tour.
Yeah, there is a difference between, we're affiliated with Dare to Share and Dare to Share is doing this.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Kind of like it's not like Dare to Share Junior.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's not the Kids Bop version.
B team.
Yeah. It's not. We're not Kids Bop. Like
I don't
we
want
are.
Kids Bop.
We're jobbers. We're doing the job, you know.
Yeah. But then also with that, we need to make sure how we do it is not Kids Bop level either, and we need to treat it with such care that it doesn't look like that.
I think it should be at the level of a one day, personally. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, agreed. So with all this being said, like, is that, I mean, you guys have kind of tossed around the idea of making it like an expectation that kind of each of you guys within your kind of regions geographically are going to do this. Is that something we want to like put a stake in the ground for? And you guys are helping to figure out what the heck this program is going to look like. So
yeah, I'm going to be honest. I almost thought that's what the standard was going to be.
Yeah.
Like to do these type of things. And like, so when I thought of calls, I thought of, we can develop a team of people that can help do this, and kind of that in my mind, the calls that would be part of to do and plan on in the midst of the year, something to keep something like a goal before them.
Mm-hmm.
And also get them in front of speaking in front of people and teaching and understanding the values. So that way when a lead the calls comes in, you have people that are already able to teach something. Like, I don't know how lead the calls are going to morph into, but to me, like, those 7 values have to be a part of it. You know? And so as we have these CTs under us to help teach and lead the calls, I think that would be a great benefit to you guys.
I agree. Well, and then too, I mean, it'd be pretty simple to have someone like record how things went. And then as you guys are like, oh man, like this CT, like he's an incredible trainer. Like, send a video into Greg, say, hey, he could be a good main stage guy for Lead the Cause or whatever else.
Indeed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So kind of that next level of training for our certified trainers.
Yeah, I'm probably just speaking for myself, just my season of life right now. Like I just don't know when I could commit to, you know what I mean? Because again, I love the idea, but so I need, and I'm not opposed to if that means I shouldn't be an MT at this time. That's okay with me, but the reality is like Sun Life has told me I have to raise my support before I even do Sun Life things. So if I'm doing Dare to Share things, like, it's just kind of, that's above and beyond at this point. But as soon as that's done, like I'm ready to go, I'll just.
Well, and I think Josh, for you in particular, like with this season, like because you got, Andy on the left side of the pond and Aaron on the right side of the pond, and you're kind of in the middle, depending on like, for you specifically, like if there's, depending on where the events fall or whatever, like, it might just be easier for you to just work with one of those two guys and say, hey, I'm going to, it'd probably actually be better for you to work with Andy since you're kind of overseeing Nick and David. So I think if the two of you guys wanted to figure out, maybe let Andy take point on it and then you just step in as you can in the support role.
Yeah.
Josh, I'm not all certain, like with the raising the funds thing, but could you use one of these one days as a way to like help in a way like financially support or add to the funds for Sun Life?
So I'm doing fine financially. Basically, I need to raise 100%. And once I'm at 100%, like of monthly support committed to the ministry, then I can, start the role of the Sun Life area coordinator. So does that make sense? So I need monthly support coming in because it's like a sustainable thing versus like one-time gifts and things like that, which, I mean, it's nice, but that's kind of where we're at.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Jason, I was thinking even, 2 years ago, especially I remember meeting together like with our region and having a brainstorming session. And I'm thinking, boy, on a practical level, this this 1 day training could be a breakout at the retreat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like, you know, because Jeff, your guys, Eric and Scott, are in pretty different parts of the country. Yeah, so that, I mean, for you guys, for the three of you, that could be look very different than for, you know, guys that are like, man, all my people are right here in Arkansas or Kentucky or whatever.
You know, and for me, I look at this and I go, you know, I love this idea. And Mr. Bill and I, it's pretty easy. We don't have any other CTs right now, even though I'm trying to recruit a couple close to me. You know, the rest of my CTs are up in Washington. So if that's the case, then, you know, we're definitely going to have to use some of those funds for an airplane ticket for that to even be considered an option.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, that's what those funds are there for. Make that happen.
Okay.
Cool. Well, I do like
Josh could use Josh, there you go. Use their share funds. They'll support Sun Life, man.
Jason, I'm gonna need a monthly.
You need to ask Jason. Monthly. Ask Jason. So how much do I have a year divided by 12? There you go.
I love it.
Goes Josh on his monthly 1 day training.
Charging their share $500.
And with a $500 commitment, you'd be my top giver. There'd be
man.
You know?
I need
three people. This nice porcelain Jesus. Light it up and hear the music play.
Get your bottle of spikenard.
Well, I definitely like the idea of using the retreat.
You'll get two for one.
An opportunity to brainstorm this. I think that's good. Cool.
I agree with that too, Jeff. I think that'd be, you know, I know Jason, it's crazy busy, you know, and trying to figure out what those sessions look like. But I think that would be really valuable and a really good use of our time.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. That was all I had on my list. Did you guys have anything you wanted to follow up on from our call last week?
Nah, I actually have to get off after to feed my kids, man.
Good thing.
Yes.
They're in the corner chewing on each other's arms.
I have to go for a run.
Hey, Jason, you're going to email us back out that link to that interactive Excel sheet, right?
Yep.
Jason, is there any way too you could, I mean, I think I got all the points, but could you itemize those things that you want to go over in our CT call?
Send out agenda. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I can do that.
Thank you, sir.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you, everyone.
Guys.